Okay, so in this video I'm going to teach you a special trick in squaring a two-digit number. Okay, so probably, well, most of us know how to square single-digit numbers like, well, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is equal to 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100. And for some of us, we can go as high as 11 squared, 121, 12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169, 14 squared is 196, 15 squared is 225. And maybe for most, that's the highest that they can remember. Okay, and when we go to 16 squared, if we don't remember what is 16 squared, well, we simply multiply 16 by itself. Okay, and that's how we find the square of a number. You multiply it to itself. Okay, so again, I said this is a video, a special trick in squaring any two-digit number. Okay, so I want to start by getting one of these numbers. Say 12 squared is equal to 144. Okay, so this is now the technique that I use in squaring a two-digit number. So we know that 12 squared is 144. Okay, so this is the trick. The first thing that you have to do is to square. So in the number 12, so this is your number. So number 12. Okay, so you have 12 squared. Focus on the last digit, the second digit. The first thing that you have to do is to square that number. Okay? So you need to square that number. And 2 squared, well, 2 squared, this number squared is equal to 4. That will be the last digit of the answer. Okay, and then we go backwards. So from 4, from the rightmost, the second step is, so this is your second step. What I want you to do is to multiply each or all the numbers that you see as single digits, meaning in the 12 squared, you see a 1, you see a 2, and you see the square. So what I want you to do is to multiply 1 and 2 and 2. So 1 times 2 times 2 is equal to 4. That will be your middle digit. Okay, so you multiply the numbers that you see. And then the third one, just the same as the first. So from the 12, you square the first digit 1. And 1 squared, as we know, is 1. And as you can see, the answer is 144. Okay, so the last step is to again square. Okay, in this case, the first, which is 1. The multiply, so I didn't write it earlier, it's 1 times 2 times 2. So this is equal to 4. So going backwards, your number is 144. Okay, let's try it with another number, okay, so that you can see what I'm trying to say. Let's pick 13 squared. First step, you square the last digit. 3 is 9. Second step, you multiply all the numbers that you see. 1, see this? 1 times 3 times 2. 1 times 3 times 2 is 6. So write it from the rightmost to the leftmost. And then the last step is to square the first digit. So this is your first digit 1, square 1 is 1. And the answer is 169, which is correct, right? Okay. So let's take, for example, you might say that this is only applicable if you have like numbers between 10 to 11, 10 to 20, 10 to 19, for example. Let's get, say, 21 squared. Again, first step, you square the 1, it's 1. The second step, you multiply the numbers that you see, 1 by 1. 2 times 1 times 2 is 4. And then the last step, you square the first, which is 4. Okay, so it's all backwards. Okay, 1, 2 times 1 times 2, and then square the 2. You have 4, 41. If you check that, if you multiply 21 by itself, so 1 and 2, and then 2 and 4, you will get the same answer as 441. See? It's magic, right? Okay, now what if, okay, because you might be asking, what if we have 14 squared? Okay, so following the steps, I have to square the 4, but squaring the 4 gives me 16. Okay, and if you check that, seems like writing the 16 is not correct. Okay, but what you need to do is to get the ones digit, the 6, you write it there in 6, and make this a note. It's like I call it a floating one. Just put it there. Okay, so just get the 6, you put it as the last digit of the answer. Then you continue with the process. 1 times 4 times 2. Remember, you have to multiply every number that you see. 1 times 4 times 2. And that's 8. Well, I will not be writing 8 yet because I know that I have a floating 1. So 8 plus 1 is 9. And then again, the last step is to square the 1, which is 1. And the answer is 196. See? It's correct. Let's take, for example, 23. Squared. Backwards. Okay? From 3, and then you end with the 2. So square the 3, it's 9. You multiply every number that you see. 2 times 3 times 2. That's 6 times 2 is 12. I put the 2. So from the 12, I'll put the 2 here. And this one is like a floating 1. Okay? Then finally, square the 2 is 4. Don't forget your 1. So this is your 4 plus 1 equals 5. So 529. And again, if you check, 23 times 23, that's 9. That's 6. That is 6. And that is 4. If you sum up 69 and 46, you will get 529. Okay, so that's the trick. Okay, so let us summarize. So the trick is when you square any two-digit number, so two-digit number, there are just 3 steps. Square, well, the last digit, the ones digit, and then you multiply every digit. So this is your last number, your middle number, and then your first is square the tens digit, and this is your first number, and then you will be writing that, okay, as FML, your first number, your middle, and the last number. Okay, so I hope you find it interesting. You could somewhat try it on your own, see if you can also share that to other people on how to get the square of any two-digit number. Okay, that's it. Thank you.